Hey folks, welcome back. We are just about to enter the classical era. We are wrapping up as the Egyptians, and we're going to make a bit of a culture selection here, and one that maybe might surprise some people, but let's get to that in just a moment. So last time around, we started as the Egyptians, and we had a pretty late ancient era war with the Bantu player. Took two of their cities. We had to destroy one of them because we were way too far above our city limit. So that was tanked our influence. That's why we're still in the negative here. But we're in a pretty good position overall, even if we're slightly on the late side going up to the classical. So we still have a lot of continent left to explore and a lot of territories over here that we need to claim still. So we're going to do a couple things and kind of take stock of where we're at with our cities. So what I'm thinking right now is we're going to need a unit to kind of come grab some things down here. So I want to grab another scout. I do suppose I have one here, actually. They're kind of waiting to get another thing down. Maybe it's fine if I don't have a scout, because I think that probably makes sense to claim first. So yeah, I'm good with this. Here, Memphis, they're working on Pyramid of Giza. The city, I'm going to grab this flood irrigation. It has no population right now, and we're going to need food. I actually think that's probably worth buying out, just because of the amount of food it provides, and because I would like to get the Pyramid of Giza as soon as possible. So, I've got an offer for monumental contractors from the Celts. I'm going to refuse that. And over here, we can actually make an attack on the Burgundy pioneers that are camping out here, which we will do. And they will run away. Okay, that leaves our culture selection. So last time around, I was thinking about a couple options in particular. I believe I had tried to narrow down to the Greeks or the Maya. I'm actually re-expanding a bit and considering the Garmantes or Garmantes. I'm not really sure how to pronounce this. I only know their region kind of in North Africa. So there's a lot more like sterile terrain, rocky fields, and stone fields in my empire than I thought. So the Foggaras could actually be pretty strong. One consideration with them is that I don't currently have any horses. You need 4 for the javelin riders. I could get those horses. So I have one in this territory here, and there's some in this territory here, so that would be enough, but I wouldn't have it like right off the cuff, so I need to prioritize getting that. The other one I'm reconsidering as well is the Polynesians, and it has entirely to do with the Marae. So I messed up like my mental math while I was thinking about it. So the equation that I said, if you said x is a Marae, right? The amount of influence that you get is x squared plus 3x per Marae, right? So every Marae increases the amount of influence you get on all other Maraes in your empire. So if you had 10 Maraes, you'd have 10 times 10 because you have that +1 influence per Marae plus a base of 3 for each, so 3 times 10. So that would be 130 influence from 10 Maraes, which is pretty decent. This is actually one of the reasons I like the Achaemenids a lot, is they have this +2 influence per adjacent district, but they're not an aesthete. And the influence is a little bit better when you're not an aesthete, because the aesthetes are, their requirements are a little too high, in my opinion, to get a lot of their stars compared to some of the other stars that you can get. So I'm actually considering the Polynesians here, like the Falua and the Intrepid Navigation is really not that interesting to me. It's almost entirely the Marae, and especially that extra faith in Empire could come in handy. The Maya may be objectively the best just to pump up the industry, but you can't just play them every time, right? And the Garmantes as well are also quite strong in terms of getting food output. So those are kind of my options, and this does give you like a little bit of influence, right, on the main plaza if city is growing. So that's like an extra 15 influence, which is okay compared to, the Polynesian, however much influence that you get from that. I am kind of leaning towards the Garmantes just because it's been quite a while since I've played them, and this kind of is a sensible time to pick them. So let's go for it. We'll give them a shot. I did think about the Polynesians as well, because I do want more influence, and it's going to be important to get more influence. But gotta make compromises sometimes. I was thinking there's like a thing there I could get that was just not showing up for some reason. One of these right here, the curiosities. Well, it seems like that is not the case. Okay. So we probably are going to ignore this area for now. We want to grab the horses here if we can. And let's see. I'm going to ignore that spot right now because that... actually, no, because there isn't any food that would get worked by the pyramids when it finishes. So let's put the Foggara right there. Those should be accurate yields. 23 there is pretty good. Any reason to build it anywhere else? I don't think so. So let's go there. 16 is not bad either for that train. Yeah. The Egyptians into Garmantes combo is pretty solid. Let me check this something on this. 3 food per adjacent. Yeah, and you get the farmer quarter. But the exploitations on this won't be quite accurate. I would get 2 less food than it says here, I think. Because... actually, no. That one will be exploited already, so I'd get 12 food there. Okay, let's take that back. What happens if I, like... Yeah, because those are getting 16 up here. Let's do that one. And that one. I think that's slightly more efficient. And we're going to move this onto industry, so we build stuff faster. And same here, we're going to put some more people on industry. So yeah, I'm on balanced policy on all my cities, I think. So right now, I'm thinking, let's buy that. Let's just get Pyramid out as soon as possible so we can build everything else more efficiently. So what I'm thinking is Thebes will eventually become a market quarter city, and I will attach Pamukkale here. So Pamukkale gives +5 money on market quarters, so this will make the city very good at generating funds. And eventually this will be a somewhat larger city, probably encompassing like these tiles right here, or these territories. I could potentially like settle another city in this direction, but I think given the pace of the game right now, it seems likely I will be always over my city cap. So there's a chance I don't found any more cities. And then Memphis will probably have a decent amount of research quarters. This terrain up here is pretty good for research quarters because there's nothing really there, and you don't really get a lot of tiles that have science as yields. So that's kind of my tentative plan. I'm also noticing, see, +13 industry from the forge is not bad, and we're going to need it to get the other stuff. Let's see. 200 influence for that is not really worth it. Okay. So, they have multiple crises. It's fine. What's this? I'm just going to renounce that for now. And actually need like a scout to go over in that direction. We are going to claim one of these. Yeah, that one makes sense. And the scout can move this way. Alright. As far as tech goes, first option is going to be hydrology, so we can get the watermill and artificial reservoirs. We have just so much river in a lot of our cities that that's going to be quite valuable for us. And down here, we will pillage that. Okay. And we can start working on Foggaras down here. Oh man, 34 food? Really nice. That's also going to increase the value of our future. Actually, that might not be as efficient as it is making it out to be, because that's exploiting one river that will otherwise be exploited. So that's 5 food. So, actually, is that? Yeah. So really that's 24. Still might be the best option. This wouldn't be bad, actually. Gives me a little bit of extra faith. Yeah, let's put it down there, actually. I think that makes some amount of sense. And then, because up here I can get these pretty easily anyway, whereas this allows me to take advantage of terrain that otherwise does not produce food. So that's what I'm going to use it for, right? It is uniquely valuable in that way, and I want to get that value out of it. Okay. So an aggressive independent here. Where are they from? Hard to say. Okay, I don't really care about this territory at all. I could establish contact, but I think we need to get some territories going first. So we will probably establish contact with this one, just not right away, because we need some other things before we commit to spending influence there. Okay, let's pull this guy back, and they can go for the papyrus. And we'll need to deal with that army. That'll work. And overproductive, probably what I want. I don't want to pay 1,000 gold right now. That's insane. Okay. So I don't think I have enough for a wonder. There's nothing like... Colosseum is actually quite good. The rest are like okay. Mausoleum, it might be the best of the options. Not that I really need a wonder in this era. It's just a nice to have. Okay, let's reclaim that territory. Man, this would have been insane as the show if I had played them. Okay, we're going to wait a turn, and then we can get this horse down here. And we will also be able to... I already have 3 territories there, so I don't need to do anything at the moment. That was probably too big of a stability hit for the time being. Let's deploy all these units kind of like that. And see what they do. Okay, they're not going to come to me. That's fine. I will come to them. Let's move there for some adjacency. Not quite enough to kill those spheres. Okay. Easy battle there. No, I'm not signing monumental contractors with you. I don't even know who you are. Like, I have no vision of them, except for the fact that Harappa's up there, so it feels like they've potentially claimed a lot of territories already. I would really like to get a scout rider, actually, and let's buy that. I can actually get a harbor here, which I think I'm going to do as well. And say, I don't need a harbor there. Not yet. I will eventually. I'm thinking that I got ahead of myself. That's not a particularly efficient use of my influence at the moment. I wanted the scout rider. So I want the scout rider to go out this way because I have very limited vision of that part of the continent. I could also use an envoy. All right. Okay, that's not a real army. It'd be nice if I could eliminate this player. So we'll see if I'm able to do that. Might be a little tricky. Just because I'm trying to prioritize a lot of things at the same time here, and I'd like to use this military to continue to explore a little bit. But, you know, I also recognize that I'm at a bit of a tech disadvantage compared to my other neighbors at the moment, so it may be best to just pick on the Bantu. So over in Memphis, Animal Barns, Stoneworks, I mean, I think all this stuff still makes sense. Still pulling this guy back to finally get this territory claimed. And we will need the forge in here eventually, but not quite yet. It'd be better if I could find another copper before I built it. Okay, so we have our tenets available. So the one that's super OP and that almost everyone takes is abstain from intoxicants, because +2 industry on forest is insane. Like, I'd get a bunch here, I'd get a bunch up here. Like, you can go pretty wild with industry. I actually feel pretty okay about my industry at the moment. Another one that you can take is Respect to Seize Bounties if you're pursuing that strategy. So I respect that choice. And Shelter the True Oracles, I've actually like come around to, depending on the game. Seek Wisdom and like Reject Luxury are like fine. They're ones that you take if you like can't, if some of the good ones are gone. And then Be Virtuous as Water is one that I really like, and actually the one that I'm leaning towards this game, because I'm getting the sense I'm going to have some larger cities, and with the amount of river that are in some of these cities, I could have very high stability cities without needing to invest in garrisons or commons quarters. So I'm actually thinking I'm going to take Be Virtuous here as my tenet. So let's continue exploring. No, okay. I feel like I see them almost every game. They're actually in a pretty good position there. It wouldn't be bad if I could take them over, but they have a lot of units. Now, you know, on one hand, having a lot of units could actually be a good thing for me, because that lets me get my stars without needing to go to war with... they've already found that one. Without needing to go to war with another player. I suppose this player is still a target, right? But if I need to attack someone just to get the stars, Knock is kind of an option for that. Okay. Let's end the turn again. Let's get an outpost down here finally. I'd like one that comes online like reasonably early. That one seems okay. All right. Religious tolerance. This is another one that has changed. So we have open-minded, gives extra stability and influence per state religion follower on territories. And then religious hostility gives +10 faith on territories. You have -1 stability for non-state religion followers, and you still get that grievance against empires of a different religion. I will, you know, obviously, open-mindedness doesn't really give you any benefits if you don't have non-state religions, and my religion's almost always dominant. So I don't really have any incentive to take open-minded. I can see why it's in the game, but it's probably something I will not ever use. Okay. I mean, that presents a bit of a conundrum for me, I suppose, but I just want to position to surprise war the kind of teal player down there. And take a long time to drag my units in that direction, excuse me. But yeah, we'll just set our units up. We'll probably have to drop an outpost down there just so I can upgrade some of those units. So let's grab Standing Army next, just to start getting access to my units. And I know Thebes is not as great with the river as I thought. Yeah, I'll only get +2 on the river from that. So let's get a little more industry here. And then over here, 26 food there, 18 industry. They're about the same. But the watermill costs a lot more, so the like output per investment cost on the stoneworks is a little bit higher than the watermill at the moment. And then over in Memphis, +18 industry and +22 food. We're going to need both of those. We'll grab the industry first. And these are probably pretty close, but I need the forge to build some other things, so I'll get that one first. Okay. Turning along here pretty well. Don't think I really need a what's the word I'm looking for? A wonder this era. What's this? Okay. I mean, just weird. I think we're gonna try to kill them, I think. So I'm on a river, but I also have high ground. So high ground is 1 additional combat strength over the river. Oh, weird. I didn't win. Oh, wait. Okay. I was pretty sure that was the end of it there, but I'm good. Have one more turn. Okay. They want to trade luxuries, which is good with me. They actually have silk. I am going to grab that. A little bit expensive right now. Don't want to buy too many luxuries at this point in the game. You need to be somewhat selective about your luxury purchases. And Celts, I'm going to keep renouncing those. I think it's unlikely I go to war with the Celts in the near future. And actually, I could claim one of these. Let's just grab a close one. And this will just allow me to upgrade my units. All right. I'm going to move some folks onto science. Actually, let's go on expert here. I'm thinking I prioritize science in Memphis just because I'm still a little bit on the slow side on the science right now. And then down here, yeah, that's fine. That one's still getting up and running. And here we'll go on expert policy and we'll do our usual order there. Okay. Bearing in mind that Thebes will start producing market quarters. 2 and 13 there is not bad. Do I invest in the market quarter already? I will need the forge eventually, but not quite yet. So scribes could maybe be worth it. Let's put the public fountain in queue just so we don't waste any production or anything. Okay, what are these guys' traits? Ah, they're... I see. So they could actually be quite kind of challenging to fight if we get into it, because they have the militia expert, so +4 combat strength on militia, and +6 on combat strength if they're in or adjacent to a garrison. So they can be, depending on like how many garrisons they've actually built, they can be kind of challenging to actually take out in a fight. So we'll see what happens there. I should maybe prioritize taking out the Han. They're going to be a lot easier. Maybe, yeah. Obviously, they could have just had a better game so far, and that would allow them to have a bigger army and more advanced cities and so on, right? Doesn't really matter where I go. I'll just drop it right there, just so I can do it on this turn. And they're actually attacking me. Aegis warriors, yeah. Did they pick the Maori? Or the Polynesians, rather? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to make that demand, because I do intend to go to war with them. So let's back my archers up here. Just going to put my warriors in kind of odd-looking positions, but on high ground above rivers. So these rivers will control their movements as they try to approach me. Okay. They're clearly going to try to go for the flag here. So let's go down here just to get vision for my archers. Then we're going to go right here. So I have high ground above this unit, and I can attack onto the flag from there. Oh. What? How could they... I guess they could move over their own unit that was on the river. They also have Pathfinder, which is very annoying in this situation. Unfortunately, I have to take the flag, so I'm going to end up losing 2 units here. And there's a chance that they... I mean, there's a chance they could kill both of those. That was a big mistake on my part. We're gonna have to rebuild some units. Okay. Get a Markabata. Let's actually do that. They're pretty tanky units. Do something like that. They're attacking my envoy. Okay, none of those things really matter over there. So I'm going to keep renouncing those, just to try to get some Diplo stars this game. I find they're more challenging to get than they should be. Basically, you have to renounce like every claim you ever get, and to have all your envoys to even get a couple stars. Okay, so let's get in here, as I would like to try to kill those units on this turn. Then hopefully I can shoot from here. Okay. Not so bad. I only lost one warrior, which still sucks, but that could have been quite a bit worse than it actually wound up being. Going to go ahead and upgrade that guy into swords, just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to attack that guy there. All right. So, celebrating, go for overproductive. Don't want that, because we're getting that the benefit right now of extra influence on our emblematic districts, and that would stop that. So we're going to go for sanction, even though it's just a temporary stability effect, which I don't have, I don't find super valuable, but is what it is. And we're going to pick up maybe mounted warfare for javelin riders. I think the Markabata might actually upgrade into them, though philosophy has the +1 city cap. So let's go in that direction like that. We'll come down here and hopefully start getting some luxuries as well. They actually have some units that are coming to be annoying and raid my stuff. So in the classical era, the balance of units changes. I'm actually going to purchase that watermill, even though it's quite expensive. The balance of units change so that melee is a lot more favored, because there isn't an upgrade to the archers in this era unless you take specific options as far as cultures go. Okay, we could claim a wonder if we wanted. I'll probably take a look at what's available. I don't think we have a great place to like found a city or anything, so I'm not sure I'm really looking at that. Oh, can pick that up quick. Maybe I will take a wonder, since I'm not in like desperate need of putting anything down. Only thing available is Statue of Zeus, which is not going to be very good for me. That plus 5% money per alliance on Empire is unlikely to be useful. If there's anything else that's worth trading for here. I mean, maybe the saffron. Or the salt, potentially. Salt would give me a lot of accesses. That is expensive to maintain, but I think that's probably worth it for the growth, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so let's grab a harbor, and then we're going to attach that spot there. It'll actually give us a pretty decent Foggara out here. And we have some iron we can build as well. And then, yeah, plus 14 there is pretty good. Okay, so it only affects this territory. I wasn't sure if it would affect the entire city or not. I feel like some of them do. Usually it's just the local territory, though. So this like entire area in here we want to fill in with market quarters, because it's going to be very efficient market quarters, especially if we manage to get the religious tenet that gives increased money on market quarters, which is a very good tenet and one that I take with some amount of frequency. Okay. Knowledge authorities. Okay, first let's get our +1 city cap. So this has changed. So this gives +1% food, money, industry, and science per city on all your cities. Whereas this autarch, which is much more tall focused, you get -10 stability per non-capital city on your capital city, but you get a big boost to all your FIMs. Unfortunately, playing wide is quite a bit more important than playing tall. And we should grab religious tolerance as well. That'll give us the grievances as well as extra faith on all our territories. And we'll probably grab one of these two next and talk about some of the differences there once we get to it. I tend to forget to take civics when they're not new, so glad one popped up to remind me there. Okay, down here we could also establish contacts and start investing some outputs there. We'll eventually be able to make a treaty and do some other fun things there. Okay. The English already. Wow, they're going up fast. All right, down here, we'll make that demand, and we're just going to surprise war. Fortunately, going to take a couple turns to get down there because of the river, but that is fine. I'm not really worried about them being able to do all that much to me. Down here, we're going to, oh, well, we'll collect that, and then we're going to get some influence there. All right.
Debate and
so here come this. Yeah, they're pillaging the harbor. Go figure. And we have the unbelievers, which we don't need at the moment. So +1 stability per researchers on city or outpost. -1 stability per bot resource. +1 science per bot resource. Neither of those are particularly impactful right now, so I'm not going to take that option. And artificial reservoirs coming up. Plenty of food for now. So I think the option really is to expand my maker's quarters a bit more. This would be good because it'll give me, if I were to come under attack later, it'll provide walls to these areas as well. So it'll give me a larger, kind of safer deployment area. I am worried about the other players on the map potentially attacking me. So that's a consideration. Okay, should be a pretty easy attack here. And interesting, I can't deploy on that particular spot. We will deploy something like that, I suppose. Oops. Okay, so let's get you off the river. See if I can... Okay. There goes to one levy unit. Let's get off the river up onto the higher grounds there. Though equivalent terrain to what they're already on, so I won't have a damage bonus or anything. It's actually pretty good for me. Yeah, now I can just whack those guys pretty easily. There is a question of whether or not I keep this city once I take it. This could potentially be a good city. Like, there's plenty of river down here to build off. And I think I could use the Foggara in all the terrain types that are down there. Need to get some more vision on this area up here. Actually, some decent luxuries up in that area. But we want to claim one of these first. Yeah, probably right there, just so it comes up the fastest. So the production of your outpost influences how fast they become available after you put them down. Okay. Artificial reservoirs coming in. Yeah, it seems fine. I feel like my tech is very slow. 5 turns for mounted warfare feels like forever. My stability has tanked down here. I suppose that is somewhat to be expected. Let's grab the aqueduct. And I was also the builder, so I had some buffs there that I kind of forgot about. Because I was the Egyptians last era, so I've lost kind of some of the effects of that at this point. And over here, 30 food on artificial reservoirs is very strong. Wondering if I start building some science quarters. This won't be great because there's limited area for adjacency. So I'm thinking like out in this area, because I need to start catching up on science in this era. So, good, okay place to start. Okay. Let's kind of ward off that envoy there. All right, we're going to force their surrender. Give me your stuff. Remember that vassalization is not an option in this game. So put me at my city count. This is like... I don't hate this city. Like, the ones up here are a little oddly distributed, but like adding another one in here doesn't make sense to me compared to attaching these territories to existing cities. So I'm actually leaning towards keeping this, and I'm now right at my city cap, right? So I think I can actually make something decent out of this city here. We are still going to need some of the basic infrastructure. Flood irrigation is not good right now, but it'll get a lot better once we have the Foggara. So we'll just work on that for now. Up here, we're going to continue exploring with that scout and try to get some more luxuries. Up here, what's this? Oh, +5 science on research quarters. Okay, we're just going to find all those nice wonders this game. +1 influence on research quarters is really good too. This actually changes my evaluation of Nock as a city. I would like to get that city in my empire. So we are going to need to drag some of these guys up in this direction. So down in this city, I'm just going to go ahead and attach there. Let's put people on... Actually, let's put them on science. And I would really like to get a scout. I think just to claim down here. Let's just get a regular scout. They're less expensive. Get this envoy out of there, since they've been attacking my envoys like since the moment they met me. And this city, I'm not going to worry about this one, so I'm going to establish contacts. We will invest some influence and money to improve our relationship there. And down here, the trading charter is not important at all because they have no luxuries. However, we can get +15 science, which is like having a couple researchers. And then down here, ooh, learning would be nice. Extra faith output's really not that big of a deal. Let's get the learning just for a little bit of extra science. It's not huge, but every little bit helps when you're trying to catch up, especially now that this player's gone up as the English. It seems very early to me for the AI. Maybe he says I'll have a more challenging late game, but also sometimes the AI just decides to do silly things and advance way too early. So we'll see what the case is this time around. So should keep the scout here and try to claim that territory. Yeah, we'll just put it right there. And this is so coming up with the maker's quarters. Let's just finish that one quickly. Don't think I want to buy that one. Just seeing, like, every option available to me and seeing if there's anything else I would rather build other than research quarters. They're still not going to be particularly effective until I get some more like infrastructure and that sort of things, but I really need to get them going and could use some more researcher slots in here. So I'm going to build it there and then just kind of fill out this area to the extent that I can. I'll also end up attaching this territory here, which will have a decent Foggara and provide more space for me to add the research quarters. I kind of forgot what I was trying to say there. Okay, let's take out this envoy. I should just attack him there. There we go. All right. And down here, we want to get this territory. This territory has... Oh, they're attacking me. Whoever that is. This territory has lead and mercury, which are both pretty valuable. I can't quite get there. Okay, but they'll come to me. And in a very silly way. Just go like that. Actually, we could have all of our units on high ground, relatively speaking. So let's do that. So I'm not worried about this area because they'll get zone of control. This will allow them to bring all their reinforcements in at once, but I am not worried about that given that I have the high ground advantage. Yeah, I'm not sure why I can't shoot from there. That feels off to me. So the Markovada is a direct fire unit. An age ago, it used to be indirect fire, and it was probably a little bit too strong at doing so. Markovada has been a problem unit for a long time, really. It feels like it's a much better space now, in that you pretty much don't get it until very late in the Ancients. But it's still effective into the Classical, so it's like a longer-term payout. So what we could do is grab this right here. Is it important to get that extra faith? Yeah, I'm not really losing much by putting that there. Yeah, that seems like it would be better for my Maker's Quarter anyway. Yeah, let's get that obelisk in there. That'll help with stability in that city. Alright, and I'm kind of excited to have this last Maker's Quarter go down, because it's nice to actually build new things sometimes. Alright, just don't quite have enough influence there yet. Just dragging my army back up this way, because we are going to go after Nok. Oh man, the pathing around this city is wild. Alright, so I have Javelin Riders now, which they do upgrade from the Markovada. And actually, yeah, so 24 to 29, that's +5. They have the move. They can move one space after an attack, which is really nice. So they're really effective skirmish units. And it allows you to get like massive hordes of these units and basically be able to make use of all of them. So we're going to try to take out this people down here because you would like access to both of those resources. So happy to divert one army to do that. Next up, we will need craftsmanship at some point. I'm thinking rhetoric for that +1 science per population, so we can start catching up on the tech tree. Okay, these guys are still running around with classical era units, so I'm not super worried about their tech advancements. They've done a good job at picking up the what's the word? These things here. Why is the word for them escaping me? But they are the Han, so they get, once they have their paper mills down, they get some science bonuses when they collect them. So they're particularly good for the Han. And speaking of which, I would actually like to try to grab an envoy again to try to collect some of them. And down here... Okay, it doesn't seem like it really matters too much where this is going to go. And we can finally work on the Foggaras. Okay, I actually think I want to grab like that one up there. Yeah, I think that will work a little bit better. Okay. Hopefully they don't have too many like high tier units down here. I'm a little worried about that, but only one way to find out. And what does this upgrade to? Horsemen. Okay. That's what I thought. I don't use a lot of mounted units. I find the production investment is often not worth it. Not always, but a lot of the time. At least against the AI. You know, I can't speak against players, really. It's not my area of expertise. Okay, they have this chariot army coming in up here. And now all my units are caught in this battle. Unfortunately, all these other guys are reinforcements, but I have this entire area up here that they can't even get to. So I can just rain down hell from up here. Actually, I should have brought the swordsmen in there for adjacency. I was thinking about like not even using them, but I can provide some combat adjacency bonuses to my units. So we'll do that. And forgot I have a javelin rider here, so can bonk that chariot. And then can move one back. It's not super useful when there's only one of them, but when you have quite a few of them, they scale up in terms of the level of danger quite quickly. And where can I shoot him from? Okay, so what I can do is go here, and hopefully I can just kill them. But if not, I could have moved them back and then moved a swordsman in front as a blocker unit. So it gives a lot of versatility in terms of moving around the battlefield, which is good. I remember as a kid, I like did not value mobility in units. I was always like, what is the highest armor unit that I could possibly get? I want it to be able to tank hits. Without really thinking about any of the other stats. And, you know, I was just like a dumb kid, just like anyone else, right? And that's kind of how your brain thinks when you're that age, right? You latch on to one idea of what's good. But I really remember thinking about that as a kid. And turns out I was wrong. Who would have thought? And I'm probably still wrong in most things in my life today, but at least I'm a little less wrong than I was yesterday. All right, so I'm sure they're picking up all these grievances again, and we are going to continue bringing my units over towards here. Apparently that is a more movement efficient route. Okay, we'll get this plus 10 war supports after winning a battle in a moment. In the meantime, let's go into craftsmanship. We want access to that particular, what's it called? Infrastructure. And probably library we can work on. Okay. Do I have enough? No. 402. Okay, so I'm going to let him grab some of those curiosities. Should I upgrade this one? I mean, I do have an army for it to go in, so I think it makes sense to upgrade the horseman here, so I'll do it. Okay, I have some iron I can grab. Still insisting that it wants a research quarter right there. We are not going to do that. Whoa, 24. Yeah, we're going to get that over the research quarter. Actually, let's even get that first. That's an insane amount of industry for one maker's quarter this early in the game. Up there's pretty solid as well. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that too. Now there is a question of like whether I attach here. Okay, I have a tenet available. Everything's available. Great. Let me think about that one for just a moment, because I have two options, both of which are good and will benefit me this game. Okay, Thieves is working on that market quarter. A little bit low on stability. I have to go for garrisons if I want stability. I think we'll let it finish what it's doing right now. Let's meet some units up down here. I could also attach that territory. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And that way I can get another Foggara in here, which will be quite strong. So this city will be able to grow very easily. And then keep moving up towards Knock. And you are collecting these. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about religious tenets. So we have a few options. Bear not false witness, +5 science on research quarter, and +2 science on religious district, or give alms, +5 money on market quarter, and +2 money on religious district. These two are like the ones that you want. Both of these like scale your outputs a lot better than pretty much everything else in this category. So you have protects the weak. So +5 stability on garrison is actually like pretty decent if you have like a history of building garrisons because of your culture, or if you plan to use garrisons as your main kind of stability sink. So this one does have some benefits, and I've chosen it a couple times. It's just not as impactful as the other ones. Observe fast, +5 flat food on harbor is like okay, and it scales with the harbor strategy, but not as well as the tier 1 tenet, because this is a flat food increase. So you can have, you know, +20 food from harbors in one territory if you've selected the right cultures, but a lot of times some of these other outputs are just a little bit more valuable. Yield to none is fine. You can get a lot of war support really quickly, but I very rarely take that. And then undertake pilgrimage, the extra influence on religious districts, and then reduce costs of canceling and enacting civics. It's pretty rare that you can't afford to get the civics that you want in a reasonable amount of time, so undertake pilgrimage is not great. So bear not false witness and give alms, I think, are the options I'm considering here. Really the only ones that make sense this game. So on one hand, I am planning to have more research quarters than I am market quarters, right? So that has a broader impact. However, if I took give alms, I could have like this area hypercharged with souped up market quarters because of this Pamukkale, which gives the +5 money on market quarters, and like have this really nice like money generating city that can fuel the rest of my empire. My other consideration as well is Atacama up here also gives the extra science on research quarters, so that could be pretty good as well, really stack up some science, but I think I'd rather do what I can control right away. So I do think I'm leaning towards give alms for the money. This could do money down here. It would be an unconventional choice in this terrain, but I could do it. Yeah. Both are good. How's my science looking right now? Like, what are my turn timers? They're pretty low already, all things considered. So let's go for give alms. Just because I find the money stars harder to get than the science stars. Like, the science stars are really within your control. I want a non-aggression pact. Yeah, I'm actually fine with that, because my next target I think would be the Celts. They make more sense for me to go after as my next target. So a non-aggression pact is going to work just fine for me. Alright, so Memphis. I think we can hold off on research quarter for now. Theater. So we are going to need a barracks. Let's grab the barracks. Just because that'll reduce future costs of all my units, and we will be building more units this game. Really feeling the low movements at the moment. Unfortunately, it was the player that I eliminated that claims the Stables of High Ramses, and they never had the chance to build it. So that wonder is just not going to be available in this game. Alright, so let's bring the scout back, and I'm actually just going to disband them in the city and get a pop back. Put them on industry. Okay. There's some industry from watermill. I think lumberyard is slightly more efficient right now. And then we can probably do the watermill after that, I think. Yeah, let's do that. And extra health regen's not bad. Oh, +2 influence per population is also not bad. How am I doing on those stars? I only have 1. I'm actually going to take that +2 influence per population. Just because I would like to generate as many stars as I can in this game. And up in Memphis, we got the barracks, and I'm actually thinking I make like a full army of javelin riders just to supplement the rest of my units. Because I am worried about some of the AI right now, given their kind of current position in the game, especially since this guy's already advanced to, yeah, he's longbows already. See if they'll attack me if I grab this. They will not. Okay, time to start building some more score here. Whereas over here, I am going to renounce those and just try to maintain a good relationship right now. Like, if I had to fight longbows, I would get thrashed. So, thankfully, they had already offered me a non-aggression pact. Yeah, they're actually doing really well. So, fortifications maybe. Don't really need to worry about sailing. I would like to grab fortifications just to be safe, and then we can go into conquest. Oops. Anything else I want to buy while I'm in here? Doesn't seem like it. Just because they're so expensive, so it's hard to justify when you don't have very much income. Let's see if I can get rid of this. Okay, they can idle down here. Just a little worried about stability. Could get some garrisons. Alternatively, I could get another obelisk. Neither of these options seem so bad. I think probably over here, just because right here there's river. I would prefer to build like, yeah, that or maybe that. So that should help with stability here. And we are going to need to get the lumberyard at some point, I think. So just get that in there. Alright. Is it still, yeah, Temple of Zeus hasn't been claimed. Which is hilarious, even the AI know it's bad, apparently. Yeah, it's pretty rare, I feel like. Well, no, I wouldn't say it's rare I see the AI take Temple of Zeus. I take that back. They have a lot of units here. Thankfully, they are all a previous era, so I think I should be able to get it. I have to do this fast because I have 5 turns till that people disappears. Let's go this way. This way is not going to have anywhere for me to use my Javelin Rider effectively. Okay, now we can grab these, which will increase our science output even farther. So Mercury is a percentage boost to science, and lead gives you science on your researchers. We're also going to send this guy over to the island because of the silver, which gives extra science on research quarters. So we have one right there already as well. Could attach this territory. It's not great territory, but it does have potential as like a market quarter kind of district. I think I'm going to do it. This is kind of a larger city right now. Plus 20 food right there. Might as well take advantage. And we can also grab that. Let's just finish that water mill up. Makes everything in the city a little bit more efficient. And we'll add the public fountain in there as well to regain some stability. And then up in Memphis. So one thing to consider as well is, where is it? Canceling this and reducing the attach outposts and absorb city cost. I think I'm going to do that. So we'll need to wait a little bit before we can enact that. 17 industry is pretty nice. We will want the school eventually. Let's grab the theater, which I know isn't great. It's just flat output, but like every little bit of influence helps, even at this stage of the game, especially given how hard the SD stars can be to get. Okay. A little extra science in all my cities is good. Legitimacy, let's reduce the attach and absorb city cost now that we've kind of claimed most of the stuff that we want to claim. And probably could have done that, a little bit earlier, would have been more efficient. Just kind of forgot about it. It happens, no big deal. So I'm hoping the English will be a little bit more amenable to my units. And I have a obsidian there I should have grabbed a while ago. All right. So let's get these units lined up. I'm going to attack these units first, I think. So that they can't reinforce their units from behind. I can play quite aggressively here. Okay, where did they go? Oh, they're up here. Is that it? Okay, that was weird. Weird deployment spot, whatever. Now we can attack these units. And let's see. What's the... There's a lot of units to control at the moment. So what's the best way to do this? So my javelin riders can only back up one at a time. So what if we... am I overthinking this? No, I don't think I am, because I kind of want to leave like one gap, or a one tile gap behind all my javelin riders, so that they can fall back appropriately. Whereas my archers can kind of camp in the back here. Another javelin rider there. I think I can probably use them up there. We'll find out. Something like that. Okay. Didn't realize there would be a unit there. Okay, now he can fall back there. Just like that, and then we can move blocker units in front. Okay, spearmen are down. Nice, they can actually get a shot from there. We'll come down there to block those spearmen. Horsemen. Okay, we're just going to use horsemen as a blocker. Just keep playing into those spearmen. These archers, not enough space to get anything done with them, but we'll just move them up so they're in a slightly better position for next round. Are these indirect fire? No, they're not. They're still direct fire. I can just fire between my units right there. Okay. So, gotta bring the archers up here. So I need both. Not everything's going to be available for direct fire all the time. Is this a move? Did he attack already? Yes, he did. I need... Or did he? I honestly can't tell. Yeah. He did. Unfortunately, none of these other units are able to hit him. Take them out with swords there. Kind of awkward terrain for my units. I need Javelin Riders excel on slightly flatter terrain than this. Yeah, I feel like there aren't a lot of places to really squeeze these guys in here because of the way the city is blocking me. This kind of feels like playing the Huns at the moment, and some of the disadvantages that they have. So I want to take these guys out with archers because they have a weaker attack, and then I can target this stronger chariot with the stronger ranged attack. Okay, nice, can actually hit from there. Oh, right, they have 3 range, so back here is a decent spot to hit from as well. And I might be able to, yeah, I can cycle some units in and out there to get multiple attacks. Move that guy up. Be really nice if I could win on this turn. Doesn't seem like I'll be able to, but at least on the next turn I'll be able to win that after I clear out that last spearman. Right down here. Oh. Okay. I'd prefer to retreat, actually. And I hope I retreat that way. Nope. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. So let's go up here. Going to grab Imperial Power. Going to take the high ground here, just in case they come after me. Don't know why that keeps opening. I think I keep clicking on a resource or something. Alright, so we're going to take this fight here since, I mean, we don't really have any other option. We're going to have to make good use of our Javelin Riders to beat these guys. They'll definitely want to get high ground attack. We're going to go there, blast those archers. Actually going to move those guys back because they're pretty heavily damaged. We can bring those guys in to destroy that chariot. So this is obviously preferred, is taking these units one at a time. I was hoping to like get them in choke points, but given that I have Javelin Riders, that is a little bit less effective than some other options. Okay, don't want to take any melee damage if I can avoid it, so we'll finish them off with a throw there. Bonk. All right, Thebes has finished its production queue. This might be a city that we just don't get water wheel in. We will need food market at some point. Let's just get a few more market quarters. I feel like that extra food that is saying I'll get there is probably a lie, but we'll find out. Okay. Finish these spears.
Here we go.
Oh, they have another unit still. Where even is their flag? Why is it way down there? Oh man. I should have been paying attention to that. I was so focused on this area here, and that's like where the battlefield, it would have made sense to have a flag. And where all their units were. Okay, so I guess you have to make our way down that way. Okay. Thankfully the spear have revealed themselves. There we go. Alright. So you have 3 turns before the city dies, and we are just going to go ahead and take it. I'm not going to worry too much about my deployment here. Just put things up front that make sense. Yeah, levies will go down pretty fast. And I'm not too worried about them doing damage to these units here. They're relatively strong, and levies are not. So we'll just try to get as much throw damage in as we can here. Probably kill those, yep. Alright. Should do, I'm sure they're going to attack right there, yep, and they do a whopping 9 damage. Just end the turn. Yeah, they're way down there for some reason. Alright, so there's Knock. So, Foggara, the Pottery Workshop, probably a good one to get. Do I have Harbor up here? I do not. Let's get one. Their collection of stuff here is a little bit random, it feels like. Let's buy this Maker's Quarter just to get some industry going. And you don't want the watermill. Yeah, let's just like buy that stuff. Get this city up and running as soon as we can. Okay. And we will attach here. Get another Foggara. That one is fine. It's not like the best Foggara that's ever existed, but works well enough. Is that territory? Yeah, that's the edge of the territory, so it actually makes perfect sense to start building research quarters there. Stoneworks is good. Let's get all that stuff in. Let's get the Foggara first, because we are getting to the end of the age here. Actually, both of the players on my continent have gone up to the next age, and no one else has. It's weird. It feels like they're rushing it a little bit. And I'll withdraw demands. I can't really declare war yet. But I can start raiding some of their stuff. Oh, that is my ally, actually. Not my ally, but someone I have a non-aggression pact with. They've done quite well for themselves. Do I still have... No, I disbanded that scout. I see some more territory down here that I would like to reveal. Actually, just use a Javelin Rider for this. We'll grab that Javelin Rider. Thebes is doing okay. The city's gonna have some stability trouble in a minute. Okay, let's just get the forge. We are going to need that eventually. And up in Memphis, you have an event. Swift is pretty good. What am I doing on my Aerostars? Oops. Another, like, 3,200 needed there. I don't think I'm going to make that. I will make that Esthete Star. So, yeah, that extra money is not going to help. Swift is probably the best option here, so we'll take it. Any civics that I needed? I will want that. I don't think I need it yet, though, so I'm going to hold on, because it is giving my cities +5 stability at the moment, which is quite nice to have. Alright. Fine with me. Yeah, I'm not being very careful about my deployment here, as you can see. Great. I'll take that readout out. Okay, I'm fine with this. So the forest here gives me cover against their ranged units. So I'm going to arrange my forces around this choke point and then just abuse my Javelin Riders to kill these units. Or they can just like walk right into me, into my swordsman. That works for me too. Then we can just back up, and I'll be out of range of the archers again. Not sure how they can see this guy. That doesn't make sense to me. This guy should not be visible. Because they're in a forest, and they're behind an obstacle, so I don't know how that archer has line of sight there. You can actually go there, and we move that guy there, so we get some extra adjacency bonus. Now that the archers are not really a threat anymore. Right. For some reason I thought I had made that javelin rider already. So I am thinking about attaching here just so I have more space for research quarters later. So I think I'm going to do that. So we'll also get us another Foggara. Get the stoneworks as well. Also get some market quarters in here, which now that I have knock with the Atacama Desert, it might make sense to do that. Let's see. Probably siege tactics here, just for the extra unit slot. Okay, there's the S-Seat Star. Hopefully I don't get trespassing grievances here. Okay. Got open borders, so we can move through their territory here. Need to really, this, I mean, Envoy will be good for this because they have pretty high movement right now thanks to the event. Need to figure out all the stuff they have. Wow, they have a lot of continents over there. 40% land percentage is a lot bigger than I remember. Maybe we have a particularly large continent compared to the other one. It's hard to say. Down here. Okay, we could get treaties. I think same with this city as well. Yeah, so client state would actually be nice. Let's grab that. And we will get something down there. I'll look at the options and say I actually have enough stuff available, enough influence available to do so. It's really how they're going to play it? Okay. Fine with me. Guy has the highest health. I'll just try to get them to attack here. Okay. He retreats. Then, there we go. Alright. Do I think I should be able to just do the same thing here that I did against their swords. Citizens are not very good units outside of the city, because then they lose their combat strength bonuses they have from Home Guard. Might lose this sword. Okay. Lucky there, they didn't decide to go for another attack. Up here. I refuse their demands. Yeah, it does feel like this settler build has proven pretty effective in this situation for the AI. So, if you don't remember, this player has +5 influence on main plaza and -25% on create outpost cost. And they're actually they're the one that is advanced rather than experts. And they're not doing great on fame, but they do have a lot of territory and luxury resources. I'm actually worried about them potentially getting manufactories really quickly. They could already go up to the early modern based on their stars. I'm not convinced that they really have the science to maintain their current momentum, but it's a real possibility. So I need to think about who I am taking. Let me see what this agreement is. I'll just withdraw demands, that's fine. So let's just get the rest of this movement done. And Mausoleum here. That's probably fueling a decent bit of their success at the moment, is that Mausoleum. They also have... Oh, that's just their admin center. Oh, right, they're the Han right now. That makes sense. Okay, I was like, they weren't the Zhou in the last era. That makes no sense. Let's see. Probably stability in here. Doing pretty well. So Taino may be an option. That feels like the default in games in a way. They're not as good as they used to be. Where are they? Taino, so the extra food per number of territories in your sphere of influence, that used to be 5. And then extra food on commons quarters. And then you have the Beatty, which gives some stability and influence on settled cities. And then the Byra Hunters are quite strong as well. I don't know who else would make sense. The Khmer would actually be quite strong in several of my cities, including these two in particular would really supercharge those two cities because of the number of rivers, and the Khmer Beret works both industry and food, so that is definitely an option here. Teutons, I do have a pretty strong religion, so I have like a decent number of followers. I have 114 right now, so as the game goes on, this would also scale up, but 114 of both money and science is not bad. That's over a 10% gain in my science. It's quite a bit more. It's like 15% or something like that. And, you know, like almost like a 25% gain in my current money. And then also there are other stuff. So the Teutonic Knights would be very strong in my current situation. The main problem is my lack of horse accesses is going to make them very difficult to actually produce. I should, where is it? Treaty, I think profit sharing actually is what I'm more interested in. I'm going to grab that. So I don't know why I thought of that. The Franks plus 10% influence, I mean, Franks I don't think very highly of. I think their bonuses are just too small. The Scriptorium is fine. Byzantines, I don't really have the alliances or a lot of horses. Varangians are strong, but... Bulgarians. So Bulgarians are interesting. I feel like this is a really reliable way for me to generate leverage. The issue I might face... So this would... One consideration is that the Bogaturi are actually an upgrade for my units. So I can upgrade into these units by just paying gold. I think it's like maybe the only upgrade path that's available for my javelin throwers. So that could propel me a little bit. The Victor's Honor will be difficult to take advantage of, just because the other empires are a little bit ahead of me in tech, which is going to make it a lot more difficult to win battles without losing units. Kenya's library is interesting. So extra influence when collecting leverage intel is fine. The extra turns before being converted by other religions, some flat bonuses, but the real bonus is the +1 stability per territory following your state religion. Can provide some nice stability benefits. But I'm not like really struggling with stability in my main cities. Aztecs could also be good. +2 land movement speed is incredible. Reduced unit industry cost. Jaguar warriors are fine. They're not amazing, but they're fine. And then the sacrificial altar used to be insane. You guys might remember back when that beta came out, and you could use sacrificial altar to just give sacrifice a population to give all your units +1 combat strength. And it was insane. So you just built like 15 of these altars, and you had ultra buffed units all the time. It's not quite as powerful now, but the stability is definitely useful. +2 influence per adjacent district is kind of just like a standard thing. The real value of the Aztecs is in the legacy trait. Any other options? Taino, obviously. Umayyads could actually be potentially interesting here if I'm worried about this opponent yoinking the manufactories. So that would allow me to just go straight down the tech tree to get to manufactories as soon as possible. So, where are they? Right, humanism. I was looking one row farther up than I should for some reason. So humanism is where the manufactories are. So I could go straight down this kind of path here to get to humanism, and it would also get me access to halberdiers, which are a very powerful melee unit from the early modern era. So that is also a consideration, is if there is a time to pick Umayyads, this might be the time. So I should probably give that a little think. Thankfully, neither of these cultures are ones that I would have been particularly interested in. The Mississippians are tough. I mean, this would be a good case for flowing waters, right, for the extra outputs, but I don't know. I find them subpar for some reason I'm struggling to put into words right now, but I'll have to give a more comprehensive take on them when I finally update my medieval tier list. Anyway, so I'm just going to take a minute to think about who I'm taking in the next era, and we'll take a look at that when I start up the next episode. So cheers, y'all, and see you soon.